Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. A portion of today's video is sponsored by Google Career Certificates. Google Career Certificates can help you get on the fast track to in-demand jobs in less than 6 months without a degree and any experience. And their certificates are interactive with lots of hands-on activities. So Google recently launched the Google Digital Marketing and E-commerce Certificate, which focuses on skills that employers are looking for, including email marketing, marketing analytics, engagement with customers, and designing and running an online store. So other certificates in job fields include IT support, data analytics, project management, and user experience design. So these certificates are both taught and developed by Google employees who are subject matter experts working in these fields. And once you've completed your certificate, you can be connected with over 150 different employers that are currently hiring. So what I really like about Google Career Certificates is that it's flexible and that you can work at your own pace. So if you put in 10 hours of flexible work per week, you can complete your certificate in about 6 months. And 75% of graduates report an improvement in their career trajectories. So to learn more and to enroll now, click the link down below or head over to grow.google/certificates. So big thanks to Google Career Certificates for sponsoring that part of today's video. So speaking of learning, today I'm going to be tackling a project that I've been thinking about for a long time simply because I want to try this out as an experiment. I am going to be making a haybox and experimenting with Fireless Cookery. Fireless Cookery, what is that? It sounds so intriguing. Well, it's not completely fireless because we are going to be using some fuel, but this concept of thermal cooking or cooking with the heat that you put into a pot is not a new one, and in fact became popular during times of war and times of rationing as a way to ration fuel and to save money, because we don't need to have a constant source of heat to cook our food. Much of the cooking happens passively, which I think is absolutely brilliant, and it's super economical because we can use things you likely have around your home to do the cooking. So I first learned about this technique in a book that was published originally in 1909 by Margaret Jones Mitchell called the Fireless Cookbook, and it describes this haybox cooking, which essentially we're going to have some kind of vessel. It can be a basket, it can be fabric, it can be a wooden box. Today I'm going to be using a cardboard box, anything to retain the insulation. And in terms of insulation, you can use various things as well. Today we're going to be using hay because I really wanted to build a hay box, and I have a bunch of it because I use it to mulch my garden. But you can use feathers, you can use a wool blanket, you can use cardboard as insulation. You want to be at least 3 or 4 inches thick on all sides, including the top and bottom. So here is the inside of my box. It is essentially a nest. I put a layer of hay. You could use crumpled up paper, that would be fine as well. I've even seen recipes using sawdust. Place your pot in there and then just pack your insulation material all the way around it. The more spherical it is in size and shape, the more heat retention you'll have. You don't want something really thin and flat because then it will lose the heat. Clean flour sack towel, place it over the top. That will help to keep any little bits of hay from getting into the stew inadvertently. So there it is. Doesn't that look cozy? Don't you want to take a little rest in there? Love it. So in addition to the cooker itself, we're going to need a little insulation pillow on top. You can use a real pillow if you like. I'm just reusing a gift bag that I filled with paper and hay, and we're just going to nestle that right on top and then place our lid. So this is how you calculate the time to cook the food in the hay box. Say you're going to cook steel cut oats, which usually takes 30 minutes on the stovetop. You would take 1/3 of that cooking time. So you would cook this for 10 minutes on the stove, immediately put it in the hay box, cover it all up, and then you triple the cooking time. So originally it would have been half an hour, so you would triple that. So it would be 90 minutes in the cooker. This is the original slow cooker. I love it. So today I'm going to be making a very simple potato onion sausage dish. So in my pot, I'm just going to layer all of my ingredients. I've got 3 medium large Yukon Gold potatoes that I've sliced to about 1/4 inch or so. And I'm just going to add a layer of those to the bottom of my pot. I just put them in some water so they wouldn't turn brown. The reason why we're layering is we're not stirring this at all during cooking. So if you have all the layers, then the flavors can melt a little bit better. To that, I'm going to add a few sprigs of thyme. Love thyme. This came right out of the garden. And then I'm going to add some sausages. I'm just going to slice these up, place these in the pot. I've even seen recipes on how to make bread in these cookers. So stinking cool. To that, I'm gonna add a layer of onions, more potatoes, a pat of butter, add more thyme. I probably should have salted in between each layer. That would have been wise. Plenty of black pepper. Then we're gonna add some water. I would say about half of this pot or so. So now we are adding some energy in the form of bringing this to a boil. We're gonna cook this for 10 minutes. And because I'm curious, I'm going to also include a probe thermometer to see the final temperature of the stew once we are finished. It's important when using a thermal cooker, especially if you're cooking meat, not to allow it to cook for more than 6 to 8 hours. Place this immediately into the haybox. I'm gonna place the probe thermometer inside. I'm gonna flop this over. Place our pillow on top. Oh, the hay smells great. And then our lid. I'm gonna place something heavy right on top. And hopefully everything will be beautifully cooked and taste delicious, but we won't know till we try it. Alrighty, see you in 3 hours. Alrighty, my lovelies, it has been 3 hours since we left our food in the box, and let's see if everything is perfectly cooked. Still 160 degrees F, so still plenty hot and food safe. Although I've read if you want it nice and piping hot to eat formula, you would just quickly heat this up on the burners. Take this off and open up the cardboard box. And look at that, beautifully hot potatoes. And let's check for doneness. Beautifully fork tender all the way through. So great. So besides that initial 10 minutes of heat, we haven't added any more heat to this pot. I can imagine having this in the back of your car or in your kitchen while you're doing a bunch of other things, running errands or at work. You could just let it do its thing. Isn't that great? Yeah, there it is. Sausage, beautiful golden potatoes. Steaming hot sausage and potatoes. Onions and thyme. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Delicious, beautifully cooked, so tender. The onions are soft. The sausages add a nice smokiness to the potatoes, added protein. It's really about the potatoes here, really soft and tender. And I definitely recommend adding a little bit of fresh thyme if you've got it. It just adds such a lovely flavor to everything. And that's all you need, thyme, salt, and pepper. So there you have it. That's how you can cook a meal in a cardboard box. So great. I love these historical recipes. I learned so much, not only about history, but about food science and ultimately about myself. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. I love hearing from you. Check out my website for a printable version of this recipe. Like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! I just cooked a meal in a cardboard box. A cardboard box.